Now, I'd say Yorgos Lanthimos' take on the Frankenstein story in Poor Things isn't quite as out there or off-putting as his earlier efforts like The Lobster or Killing of a Sacred Deer. Compared to those films, this is still more of a mainstream effort from the director, but it's still got plenty of that distinct flavor that he's known for, with plenty of eccentricities in its surrealism, steampunk set designs, and little character quirks. Like, despite things such as, for example, Willem Dafoe's character randomly spitting out these bubbles all throughout, this is still way more accessible than it looks. It's still a great time, and I really loved its aesthetic. The surrealist set designs were clearly pulled out of those old silent German expressionist movies, and they're absolutely gorgeous. You really feel transported to this world and immersed in this environment. It's also great on a thematic level, with this woman brought back to life and whose agency was stripped away from her, and every man in her life only takes interest in her because they think they can control her. Yet the more she learns about the world and finds her own voice, the more it brings out the toxicity in these men who try forcing their way into her life. But what makes this even more interesting is that it's done through the lens of an absurdist comedy, which is why it especially works so well for me, with quippy exchanges, misunderstandings, and fun moments of physical comedy. This is by far Emma Stone's most transformative performance, and it really shows her range, with the way she seamlessly shifts from being a great physical performer with a snappy sense of comedic timing to being so compelling in all the dramatic moments. It's also by far the funniest I've seen Mark Ruffalo. I mean, I always got some laughs out of him in his MCU appearances, but this allows him to really let loose the most with his comedic skills, with a very over-the-top performance as this big man baby who will throw these tantrums. It's a great example of taking these silly elements to give way to a much more compelling story. I can see it not being everyone's jam, but the way it all came together, I thought it worked really well.